And basically, you don't think that we should leave without a deal. You're in favour, if necessary, of extending the agreement past October the 31st, and you want to go back to Brussels and renegotiate. And I just thought to myself, that's Theresa May.
No. So I don't want to extend. I think we can get it done by the 31st.
But you have said that. You've said you're prepared to, though, if necessary.
October. Well, I don't want to, and I think we should leave on the 31st of October. The difference is this, and it's a really big difference. It's that I'm being clear in advance that we need to get a deal that goes through this Parliament. And there's a reason for that, and that's because we can't have a general election before we've delivered Brexit, and that means we have to deliver Brexit with this Parliament that we've got, even though I'd like the Parliament to have a different makeup. I'd like there to be more Conservatives in it, for instance. You can't do anything about that.
But how can you get that kind of deal if you don't have... We keep asking this question on this programme. If you don't have that card in your back pocket that says, all right, I'm off, we're leaving, how can you negotiate from a position of strength when you're basically saying, well, in the end, I'll do what you like, because we're not going to leave?
No, because the problem last time was that the Prime Minister threatened a no-deal exit, and then we couldn't deliver it because Parliament stopped it. Yeah. And, you know, the Speaker, again, talking yesterday, has been clear that he'd allow Parliament to stop it next time. So no deal is not a policy option.
Unless you have a general election.
In which politics would be exploded. It would be terrible for the Conservative Party. The elections last week demonstrated that. So and it would be terrible for the Labour Party as well. So we can't have a general election before we've delivered Brexit. I think that would be really damaging for...
But how can you deliver it if you don't have any cards to play?
Really straightforward answer to that. I am seeking a mandate from the Conservative Party to deliver Brexit through this Parliament and bring all Conservatives on side, because we're having this great debate about the way forward.
But how do you do that?
Because Theresa May has been trying to get agreement, and the arithmetic doesn't change just because the lead changes.
So the EU have said that they are open to changes to the future arrangements, right? And now, I'd seek also changes to the withdrawal agreement,
well,
but they've said that they won't. Exactly. So you have to be prepared for what would you do if you didn't get changes on the withdrawal agreement. They have said that they're open to changes on the future arrangements. I think that we need to lean more heavily on the alternative arrangements for how we deal with the border in Northern Ireland. That's the only thing that's got a majority amongst Conservative and DUP colleagues so far.
But where does your pressure point come from? You see, this is all well and good, but where's your pressure to get Brussels to give in a bit? What possible threats can you... Because it is about threats. What threats can you make to them that will encourage them to change their minds? I can't see it.
They have already said that they're open to changing the political declaration, the future, the agreement about what happens in the future. It's about where we end up. It's about the long term.
Well, it's not about the withdrawal agreement arranged first, though.
Yes,
and that's the bit we can't get agreed.
Yeah, we can get that through Parliament because I'm being absolutely clear that we need to get a deal that will go through Parliament. And
Theresa May wasn't doing that.
All Conservative MPs should fall in behind the policy of the new leader. Theresa May...
What if they don't?
I supported Theresa May in trying to get it through, but part of her problem was at the start she said, we're going to have no deal if we don't get this through. But by the end, she was saying something different. I'm instead seeking actively a mandate to deliver...
Well, good luck with uniting your party, because at the moment you are completely split. You've got people like Boris Johnson and Esther McVey saying, we are leaving on October the 31st, and that's it, and we are prepared to leave without a deal. And we've got people like you saying, no, we've got to have a deal. And I just don't see how you're going to bridge that.
But, Richard, the thing is this. We're having this big debate. We then need to come together afterwards, and we need to deliver according to whoever wins this. And I, as Prime Minister, would expect that mandate to be followed.
So if hang on, no, so pick up on that. So if Boris Johnson were to win, and the smart money is on him at the moment, and we all know that the leading leader of the pack at the outset often falls, but let's say he does it, and he does take us out and says he's going to take us out on the 31st without a deal, you'd support him in Cabinet, would you, if he were in Cabinet?
I know...
Yes or no? Would you support... You would.
But also...
Put your hand up and say, I vote for that, Boris, I'm with you.
I would support any of the current 10 other contenders, and I would expect and hope that they would support me too.
Right.
And the reason that we can bring the Conservative Party together on this is because there has been an approach that has brought the Conservative Party together, which is around using alternative arrangements for dealing with the border in Northern Ireland. And that has got a majority in the House of Commons. It's the only thing that has. And we have to work from that. But the thing is, there's only any point in becoming Prime Minister at this stage, in this incredibly difficult moment for our country, if you're completely honest about the difficulties and the trade-offs in advance. And the difficulty, one of the difficulties that we face, is a House of Commons that rejects no deal, with a Speaker determined to do anything to allow that view to be expressed.
Well, so we come back... This is where we came in. So how about a general election? So change the makeup of the House of Commons.
I think if we had a general election now...
Because you'll lose.
Well, firstly, it would be... Of course, it would be terrible for the Conservative Party. But more than that, I think it would be terrible for the country. The country doesn't want a general... I'm with Brenda from Bristol, right? The country doesn't want another general election.
But also, the country wants a good deal, and you're essentially saying that you're going to be saying to other members of the Conservative Party, you've just got to compromise, you've got to make the best of it, you've got to stick with what I say, otherwise that's it, you're out. That's what you're saying.
I'm saying that after this great debate that we're having, we then need to coalesce behind the new Prime Minister. And I very much hope that people will then coalesce behind the view that I would have won the leadership contest on, because I'm being clear in advance that we have to have a deal that gets through the House of Commons, because there is no alternative to that. Because the idea... Just this key point. The idea of running at and aiming for a no deal... is not a credible option. It isn't a policy choice that's available, it seems to because the House of Commons will stop it. So what's the point in going to Europe and saying, we will, if you don't give us the changes you want, then we will leave without a deal? They'll say, hold on, you can't get that through your Parliament.
Exactly.
And so it's not a credible threat. So let's be honest about the choices.
Well, I read a very interesting analogy about this situation the other day, and they said that this is turning into World War I politically. It's just total stalemate in the trenches. And what eventually broke that stalemate was the tanks. Finally, we've got something fresh and new, and we broke through the lines, and it was all over. That's what you need, isn't it? You need the political equivalent of tanks. And listening to you, you're still talking about rifles and mortars, and there's nothing big coming in.
So I think the way through that is all about the long term. You know, I don't want us in a customs union with the European Union over the long term, where we have to take their rules. And there was a big fear that with the proposed future arrangements under the existing deal, that's where we'd end up. I voted Remain. Yeah? But as a Remain voter, I don't want us to end up as a rule taker from the EU. We've got to leave because we abide by the result of votes in this country. And then when we leave, we should leave out into the world and making our own laws. That is the big upside of leaving the European Union. And so I don't want to end up in a customs union in the future, and we don't have to. And by making the long-term solution where we end up clear, I hope that will help to bring the Conservative Party together on the route to that, which is difficult and involves, you know, a parliament which isn't necessarily enthusiastically supportive of what we're trying to do.
Well, look, when we look at the candidates, it is a crowded field, isn't it? Taking a look at what the others are offering, because everyone seems to be going for one thing in particular that's their standout point. Sajid Javid, more money for the police, an extra 20,000 police officers. Michael Gove is saying EU nationals living here can apply to be citizens free of charge. Dominic Raab is about lowering taxes. Esther McVeigh halving foreign aid to spend money here on schools, police, NHS transport. What is your unique selling point?
Well, we need to look to the future and the technology that's coming down the track to make Britain prosperous. That is absolutely at the centre of how we allow people, support people to lead more fulfilling lives in the future. So I back business, big supporter of helping business to create new jobs and better jobs for the future, getting more money in people's pockets by using the growing economy to make sure that people can take home more and that we have better jobs. Ultimately, for me, I come from a small business background before I went into politics. Ultimately, for me, the job is to allow everybody to reach their potential and support people to do that.
So
and you do that with a strong economy and backing business.
You just said, and quite rightly, that you are a Remainer. You voted to remain. After the European elections, and what that message was clearly sending from all of those who voted Brexit, and many of those were former Tory voters, surely after the last experience with Theresa May, a Remainer, we need a Brexiteer to lead your party. You need a complete change, and you're a Remainer. So the Europeans know when you talk to them that basically you're on their side.
No, I think that the strongest argument is the other way.
Really?
Yes. Because
you think out there they think that?
Yes.
You think the electorate think
I think
that?
we can make...
Why do you think Brexit did so incredibly well?
Because we haven't delivered Brexit. That's the problem. So we need to deliver... We need to deliver
I think you're in
Brexit.
denial about this, you know.
I'm not in denial about not delivering Brexit. I wish we had, right? We need to deliver Brexit. We should have delivered it by the 29th of March, and we should deliver it by the 31st of October. And the reason that the European elections led to so many people voting Brexit for the Brexit Party was because we haven't left the European Union. But then we need to turn and make sure that we're addressing the concerns of the majority of voters who are just looking to improve their lives, not that interested in the big politics, right?
Well,
and that's where Conservatives win elections. So it's easier, it's better to be able to... We've got to deliver Brexit, but then not be defined by Brexit and get onto all the other things that matter. And bringing the country together is something that somebody who voted Remain but then is delivering Brexit can help to do.
I just want to pick up on your business comments because it's on the front page of the Financial Times today. Hancock hits out at Johnson. I can't repeat the exact phrase here, but it was a comment that Boris Johnson had made saying bleep business. And you then said, to the people who say bleep business, I say bleep business. Now, you're also saying that you want a clean contest, and yet attacks like this doesn't seem to be a very clean way of running for a candidate.
No, I think that a clean campaign is incredibly important. I won't make personal attacks, but I will be extremely robust when it comes to policy disagreements. You know, I like Boris. Boris is a great communicator. But I think that the Conservative Party has to support business, or we're lost, or we're nothing. And so I will stop at nothing in my support for the job creators and those who build prosperity. But I won't make negative personal.
Simplest question of the interview, I suspect. Let's say you don't get it. One person you rather got it than you.
Oh, that is a great question. But we haven't...
Who would it be?
There might be even more nominations.
Well, on the running order that we have...
I haven't given it...
You must have a preference.
I haven't given it a moment's thought. No, I haven't.
You must have done.
I'm in it to win it, Richard.
Listen, on our final question, what did you have for breakfast this morning? Was it a waffle by any chance?
I had a banana.
Yeah.
I had a croissant. But I haven't had a waffle.
Can we tempt you with Hancock's Waffle Shack, which we've specially created for you? It's got your own personalised Stroop waffles there with your face on it, because we know that you're a rather...
I love waffles. I love waffles. I've never eaten a waffle with my face on it.
They caught you on camera, didn't they? Eating a waffle before the interview last week.
It was brilliant.
They never let things go on this programme. I had an accident with fake tan. It's going to be with me for the rest of my career.
And luckily, when we asked you that day what you had for breakfast, you chose wisely, to be honest, and say not only a banana but a Stroop waffle as well.
You've got to be brutally honest in life, even if it means you've been eating a waffle.
Eating on the job.
Here we are.
Oh,
your
yes.
breakfast. Although, obviously, as Health Secretary, you won't be eating that entire plate of waffles.
All things in moderation.
All right.
Look at that.